One tribe, together we vibe.
Good energy.
High vibrations.
And great conversation is what we provide. This is a Good Folkz Podcast. I am your boy, Ballin' Boy Trey, along with the boss Pretty, my boy Tez.
Yes, sir.
Tonight we got a special guest joining us, Miss Kamyia. Y'all make some noise. Kamyia. Let everybody know who you is and where you from.
Well, you already know I'm Kamyia. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. I would say I got too many talents to say what, put a label on it. So I would say I'm an artist, an energy worker, and I just go wherever the vibe is.
Okay. We're going to get into all that tonight.
So as far as you being an artist, you write your own music and you sing it, or like, is there a preference on what you prefer to do more, one over the other, or?
Well, now, starting off when I first started learning that I can sing, I used to like to cover a lot of songs. I like to, my favorite thing to do was to take rap songs and turn it to R&B songs to show you that you can sing it instead of just rapping it. I've written maybe once or twice. That wasn't really my thing at the time. Now I'm, verging over to that because I want to, create some, of my own, have my own creativity. But really, it's just covering other people's songs. That was just something fun for me to do.
Right, right. So how long you been singing?
I think when I first realized I could sing when I was about 6. I was sitting in the car with my mama, and she had me singing to somebody on on the answer machine, and I was singing "Escape," one of those love songs, which I probably shouldn't have been singing at 6. But I have a vivid remembrance of that song, and then ever since then, I just been singing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, when did it become a passion for you?
Probably when I was about maybe 10 or 11. I started singing in church. I was singing, Sunday school, the youth choir, and I was in a choir that it wasn't. We weren't a part of a church. We went to different churches, like Gospel Explosions.
Okay.
And when I just started singing, the covers and stuff like that, that's when I started getting passionate about it. Wanting to sing all the time. So I started getting into different talent shows. I started in church singing, but, I sing all genres, like anything, country, R&B, it don't matter. But I think about 10 or 11 when I feel like I started to get real passionate about it. Taking it serious probably around maybe 15, 16.
Okay. So, what made you get into music?
Music just in me. My dad's side of the family, they all sing. My dad, he passed a couple years ago. He sang. His dad, my granddad, he was in a band. He had his own band, and he played the guitar and everything. So it kind of was just in me. So I couldn't really run from it.
So you come from a music background in a way.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for your loss, but that's what I was going to ask. If anybody in your family was singers also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's mostly my dad's side that can sing.
So growing up, who would you say inspired you to want to sing even more, far as artists? Who used to listen to the most that just made you want to go harder with your passion of singing?
Jasmine Sullivan. Now as far as when I got into my teenage years, when I discovered who she was, I like her because she I don't sing like her, but she kind of got that soul, that passion, you can feel it. And I feel like that's how I feel, even though I don't write the music, I feel like that when I sing it. So Jasmine Sullivan and Beyonce, they want to say maybe she overrated, but to me, she is a goddess because a lot of people can't do what she can do. Nobody can hit notes like she can. But mostly it was Jasmine Sullivan that I lean towards.
Oh, okay.
You like busting windows out the cars?
Yeah, with my crowbar. Yeah.
So was your family supportive of what you wanted to do as you were growing up? How was that as far as what you needed, what you desired, the love, the attention, again, the support?
Yeah, I would say so. As far as now, if you mean maybe pushing me to go to pageants and things like that, I wouldn't say it in that aspect, but they always showed up when I had a show or if I sang somewhere for a wedding or, if one time, I think back in 2019, I auditioned for The Voice, and they were very supportive. They may not, have came to the place, but they were supportive of pushing me to go. So, yeah, I would say they were pretty supportive.
So, go ahead.
What? You go ahead.
So, how old were you when you first recorded your first song?
I was 20 in the studio, like going to the studio.
Like, whenever you just, like, heard yourself, like, how old you was?
I think 16. That's when I first discovered what YouTube is. I think that's when YouTube might have just came out. I think maybe when I was about 14, 15 when it first came out. I think, or maybe it just came out to me. But that's when I started recording myself and listening to myself sing. And then I started, okay, you can sing a little bit, okay. So I would say YouTube. That's when I started recording myself hearing it. But as far as going to an actual studio, it wasn't until I was in my 20s. I think I was 23 when I first, and it was like a home studio, and but that was my first time hearing it like on a track, like a real track.
Gotcha.
But that was interesting because I had never heard myself in that aspect. So yeah,
what it felt like?
It felt good. I felt like a celebrity or something.
Felt confident
I felt confident.
doing it.
I was like, okay, that sounds good. Sound like we need to go ahead and put that on the radio. Yeah, yeah,
that's good. So I know you said you did growing up. You did church performances, things like that. Were you in talent shows also?
I was in talent shows like in junior high school. We have like a talent show we had when I was like in 8th grade. Church wise, we were in a serious group. We just all could sing, and we labored ourselves with me and 2 other friends. We did a talent show called I forgot what it was called, but they had came to Montgomery looking for people. We ended up winning first place. Okay. We did a gospel mashup together with 3 of us, and we won first place. We didn't get the rewards for it, like the promised, but we won. And any other talent shows, I don't think so. Mostly they were like school talent shows, but nothing like serious. I think the most serious thing was like The Voice. And that was interesting because it wasn't the way I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like how it is on TV. As soon as you get there, you see the celebrities there. But no, you go through like 2 to 5 different interviews. The interviews will be, auditions. So the audition might be in Atlanta, and then if you make that cut, they're seen to Los Angeles, and you make that one. But they're like different producers. And then when you get to like the 5th or 6th step, that's where you see the one on TV.
Gotcha.
That was interesting.
Do you think you better off solo, or did you like the group feel?
I didn't like the group feel. I like my own, because I don't know. It's nothing wrong with being in a group. But as far as like, if I were to take it serious, I would rather be by myself. I like to just vibe on my own, sing on my own. I don't like being in a group.
So like when you performed at the talent show, was that your first time performing in front of a crowd? Like, what was the biggest audience that you performed in? Like, just sung a song in front of, like, either by yourself or with the group you was in?
By myself, the biggest crowd would be. It was 2 times. It was once at a church. That church had, now I'm not sure if all the members were there, but it had over 2,000 members, and I sung solo. It was at, if I'm not mistaken, it was Fresh Anointing. It was so long ago. And they have like over 2,000 members. And I think like my younger time, like my younger years, I think it was in school. That wasn't a big, huge crowd, but to me it was big because like, the whole school, not just 7th, 8th grade, like the whole school in there, their parents, the teachers. But I would say that in a wedding I sung at. It was a nurse I used to work with. She had me sing at her wedding. That was a big crowd, bigger than what I thought. Yeah. So I was a little nervous, and I looked back at the bridesmaid. They all was crying, so I was like, okay, okay, I did something.
Like, how you got over being nervous?
Just keep practicing over and over, because I noticed what a lot of people used to ask me, why do you get nervous and you can sing so good? I think it was the perfectionist in me. Like, I'm afraid my voice gonna crack. I'm afraid I'm not gonna hit that note right. I'm scared I'm gonna embarrass myself because my voice starting to shake. And also, the vibe that you in when you're at home is totally different when you get around people. So you think, okay, I'm good. Then you get there and you're like,
Freeze.
You freeze up, like,
Yeah.
and I'm not shy. It's just that I'm so worried about making sure that I deliver the way especially that one, because she was, it was 2 weddings. My first wedding, I was 14. Somebody paid me to sing at their wedding. And then when I was like 23, the nurse that had me sing for her wedding. But yeah, it's just a matter of just me. It's not real, because I'm not shy. I like being in front of people, but I just don't want to mess up. That was my biggest thing.
Perfection.
So just practicing and just, voice control, like just breathing. I had to just keep doing that, and just knowing that I had to keep just peppering myself up, like, you got it, like you sing, good when you're at home. So,
Right.
Do you still get butterflies now, like when you perform? Still?
yeah, I do.
It's a passion.
I still get, and it's not really like a scare. It's like a just like that anxious feeling. Yeah.
So, so like, what song did you sing at the wedding? Do you remember?
With the one when I was 14, I sung. It was a song off of Dreamgirls. It was Jennifer Hudson. You're the perfect man for me. I don't think that's the name, but that's the. I can't remember
Concept
that.
of it.
Yeah,
I say we need a sample.
I don't think I remember that song.
I ain't gonna put you on the spot.
Not doing like
That one, and then at the wedding when I was older, when I was grown, that happened to be Jasmine Sullivan. That happened to be Jennifer Hudson. Also, it was I forgot the name of it. I hear it in my head, but I can't think of. But both of them were Jennifer Hudson songs.
So when you first got your reaction, like from your performance, like how did that make you feel? Like, being nervous at first, but then actually executing and seeing the people react to your voice. Like, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel real good. It made me feel accomplished. It made me feel like, okay, I was beating up on myself a little too bad. And I was getting a reaction more than what I expected. I knew I was going to get a good reaction because I know I can sing, but because of me doubting myself, thinking that, that's another thing too, doubting myself then. The reason why I got so nervous, thinking, I'm not going to perform the way I do at home. But it made me feel confident, real, real confident, and just constantly hearing them tell, just pouring into me made me want to go harder and want me to keep singing, even though singing is my passion. But I don't feel like I ever lose it. Well, I have before, but it just made me feel confident, feel good.
Did you ever have like outside daughters, like besides self-doubt? Did anybody else?
Oh, of course. I couldn't really pinpoint like a person or anything like that, but yeah, I've had people just outright say you can't sing, or I remember one time, I don't know what kind of game it was. It was an anonymous game that they were playing on Facebook, and you can send questions, but you don't know who it is.
Right.
And somebody said something. What did they say? You just need to be quiet, all that singing or something. Something they said. And
How
like,
that make you feel though?
at the time I had gotten real confident, so it didn't bother me. It kind of made me laugh because I was like, I'm not gonna be everybody's cup of tea too,
Right.
because just because I feel like I can sing, don't mean the next person. Because there's plenty of singers I can tell you that I personally don't think they can sing for real, but that don't mean they can't sing. It's just my personal.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that because
Okay.
they're gonna tear me up. But when I say can't sing, singing to me is singing and singing. The southern way.
Break that down, because I hear that a lot too.
That's different. Like, okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Like Mary J. Blige, to me, she can sing, but in my opinion, she can't sing.
Yeah.
Like if we was to, I can't really compare because they don't really sound alike. But if we say Jasmine Sullivan and Mary J. Blige, I feel like Mary J. Blige goes so hard because you can feel her.
She put the soul
she
into
put
it.
that soul into it. And not that Jasmine Sullivan don't, but Mary J. Blige's not gonna hit those notes. I can't even hit those notes. But it's not even about hitting the notes either. Because I know people, you can hold a tune and you can still sing, but singing like Beyonce, Jasmine Sullivan,
Fantasia.
That's singing. Jennifer Hudson.
What about
that's
Ashanti?
singing. Ashanti is the singing. That's the
she's
singing.
singing.
Not singing, but
Yeah,
she
she
can
don't
sing.
sing.
But she an artist I
She's
like.
not
I
Whitney
love her.
Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
But like, So you said like you lost yourself. I mean, you got away from music, right? If I'm correct. Now, like, what was that like going through that phase? Like,
it was devastating actually, because I couldn't figure out. I was, we all go through phases in our lives, like good and bad, and sometimes we get straight away and don't even know that we're doing it. But it made me feel bad because I was like, why I feel like I don't want to sing. Like I went months and haven't opened my mouth, and that's not like me because I've been singing all my life. And it just made me feel like I was about to lose my voice, because I always told, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. And it just made me feel discouraged. And I think a lot of it was, my main goal. There are other things I wanted to do in life as far as a career, but my biggest thing, I just knew that it was gonna be singing. Like if I was gonna be a millionaire, be on TV, it was gonna be from singing. And time went past. I started getting older, and I'm like, ain't nothing happened. And it wasn't really because nothing happened. It just, I don't know, or I don't know if I got burnt out, and I don't know. But it made me feel bad because, it made me feel, music is therapy to me. Singing is therapy. I can just sing at 3 o'clock in the morning and be in a great mood, versus where somebody might drink or go take a shower or something to make them feel better. I'd rather sing at 3 o'clock in the morning. I sing a cover and feel totally better.
So it helps you.
It helps me.
Like it's not just a passion of something that you like to do. It actually like help you as a person.
Yes, it do.
Okay.
So would you say the wedding was your biggest performance, or you performed somewhere bigger before?
As far as like the crowd, like the audience,
like audience.
Yeah, I think it was the wedding, because even auditioning for The Voice, that was a big platform, but it wasn't a lot of people.
Yeah, physically watch.
Yeah, so I would say it was the wedding, and I've performed other places, but it wasn't a big crowd. Maybe the platform was, but it wasn't a big crowd. So I would say that, and when I did that once at church, because it had so many members there. But yeah.
Okay.
So like, how long have you been? Because I've ran across you on the internet, right? And I seen multiple videos that you were singing in. Like, how long have you been doing that? Like, just really putting content out there, sharing your talent to the public.
Like recording it and
like making videos.
15. That it was when I first started getting on YouTube, where I discovered YouTube. Whenever MySpace was going on, that's when I remember. I recorded my first video that I remember was a gospel song. It was a Yolanda Sullivan. Jasmine Sullivan must be talking about me or something. It was a gospel song, and then I started listening. I don't know what made me do it. It was a girl named Unhala. She's not like a big artist, but she was big to me. So I used to like to listen to other people cover and do mashups. And then I'll do it myself, but I won't do theirs. I'll just listen to an instrumental, and then I'll hear Youngboy. And I was like, I can sing Youngboy. And then I mash it up and put Donnell Jones on it. Like, mix it up, like just kind of, And I just kept doing it because it was fun. And I was like, nobody else really doing that. So I just kept doing it. So I would say 15 when I first started getting on YouTube.
So, like, if you had to choose between gospel and R&B, which lane would you
R&B.
That's
I'm more
That's your genre?
Yeah, that's my genre.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I know that the kind of personality, the way I live, I know that I know how that could be conflicting to other people.
Right.
So I don't mind singing it, but I know R&B is something I really, really like. That's just, it's me.
Fit.
It's me, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. So, like, what was one of your favorite covers that you did?
Because
you did a lot of them.
I did a lot of
them. Yeah, you got quite a few out there
floating. It was a Youngboy one. I can't remember what song it was. That was probably my most viral video on YouTube. What is the name of it? I can't remember the name. It was Youngboy, and I really do got a lot of covers.
You got a lot of flow. I'm talking about, there's a lot of them out there.
Youngboy, and I think it was one of Beyonce's songs. I think it was Love Drop. I think that was one of my favorite ones, but all of them my favorite, actually.
Okay, so
like, since you started in the church, like, was it any negative feedback once you start covering R&B?
Yeah, and that's another thing that had me drawn back because, you know, at the time I was still, you know, from maybe 16 up until I was maybe 25, I feel like I was still trying to find myself. Okay. And, you know, I'll post something on Facebook and, you know, why she cussing on Facebook? Like, you know, but I cuss outside, you know, so why try to, you know, sugarcoat it? Like, I'm not going to, I feel like that's duality. Like, I'm not saying, because I know some people can put it where it's like you straddling the fence, but I don't put myself in a box. I grew up, you know, as a Christian, but, you know, we'll get to that, you know, whenever we get on that topic, but I know that's me, and I felt conflicted. I felt like I couldn't be myself, so yeah, I like singing it and it sound good, but I still felt like, you know, just not free. I didn't feel free. Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of like negative remarks about that, because I feel like a lot of people wanted me to be what they wanted me to be and not who I need to be and who I want to be. Right. So when I finally broke out of that, that's when the cover started coming out. I started being more myself. But yeah, to answer your question, it was a lot of negativity behind it.
I would say too, I feel like more people should realize and understand singing R&B don't make you any less of a Christian. Right. It's R&B.
Right. And all R&B songs are not, because I think the first thing a closed-minded person would say on that end of the spectrum, they're thinking of something sexual all the time. All R&B songs are not sexual. Right. And some of them listen to it when they get out of church. So what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? You know, let's be for real.
It's all music though.
Yeah.
So, like, but growing up in the church, like, what was that like?
Yeah, I liked it. To me, now that I'm in a different energy now, I haven't forgotten where I come from, but I feel like growing up in the church. Now, are you asking that as far as like music or just in general, like in a spiritual way?
Like in music.
Music. It's kind of the same thing like what I was saying. I liked it. You know, I felt good about it, but I felt like I really wasn't myself. Like it was still, I had questions. I feel like I couldn't really, like it was just something missing. But I enjoyed it because I felt like that was all I knew. You know, I've been to Sunday school, I've been to Vacation Bible School, Youth Explosion, you name it, praise team, I did all of that. But I still felt like something's missing. But I enjoyed it. I just felt like I didn't really know myself too well.
Did you think it had something to do like with you growing up, like in the spirit of it, like just in the spirit of growing up in the church? Like you said, you was there a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, did that kind of like impact you from doing gospel music to you doing R&B? Like, was it just like going through that so much? It just wanted you to do something else outside of gospel music because you grew up in the church, and like that's all you was around. Like, did it kind of like did it get away from you in that way, or?
Actually, that's not all I know because I'm like growing up, like my family, it's a mixture. So it's not like I got one side of the family that's all they are. That's from sundown to sun up.
Christians.
Yeah, but I didn't grow up with them. So
gotcha.
My immediate family, we know God. We went to church and stuff, but we still went to parties. We still listen to R&B. So I had like actually both, but I spent a lot of time in church too. So, I feel like I had a balance of it. So I don't really feel like it influenced anything because I got from both ends. It's just that because one side is this and one side is that, it can be conflicting. But
so you just chose R&B?
Yeah, because it felt more comfortable to me.
I got you.
So with you saying that you are an energy person, do you feel like spiritually being in church helped you become or play a part in you being an energy person?
Yes, absolutely. Because like the way I am now, if it wasn't for that, me growing up like in a Baptist church, I feel like that I wouldn't have that much of an influence because a lot of things I do now, I take from that. Even though I may not label myself, like I don't label myself as a Christian anymore. And the reason why I don't is because I know that Christians, follow one thing. And I know that there are different cultures that I've used things that they, help in a positive way. And I use it too. So I can't really label myself that. I can say that, just hypothetically speaking, I'm not Buddhist, but maybe the way they meditate, I like how they do it. Or I'm not a monk, but I like the way they don't eat certain things, and I take that from so I just call myself a spiritual person because I use those different aspects instead of just that one thing.
Right.
I don't put it in the box.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, like, how would you describe your sound? Like, if you was, like, when you do music, like, how would you describe your sound? Like, are you more so of, like you kind of basically touched on it with the Jasmine Sullivan stuff, but like, how would you describe it? Like, are you more soulful? Mm-hmm. Are you more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Soprano, what, like, like, what would I be listening for?
It was his face when he did it. No,
I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying too. I would say when I sing, my goal is to touch your soul. That's my goal. I want you to feel it the way I feel it, no matter if I'm joking, like a joking song, funny song. I want you to feel me. I want you to like literally think it's like it's a lullaby. But I would say it's soulful. I would say it was soulful. Now, yeah.
I can take soulful.
I can say that. Is it? I know you say you was inspired by Beyonce and Jasmine Sullivan and artists like that growing up. But if you had to pick one artist, not saying you wanted to be like, because I know you want to be yourself, but who would be your most inspirational, even today, like with now and day artists? Who would be your most inspirational artist?
Out of those two, or just in
like in all
general?
time?
Yeah, in all time, leading up to today, who would be your most inspirational?
Like I said, they may say it's cliche, but Beyonce, and it's not because just her singing, her work ethics,
yes,
how she was brought up, just her story, and how she put that into her music, where they show like the behind the scenes of how, I remember, I think it was her album, Lemonade, and I don't know if that was just what she wrote or that's what she actually did, where she talked about fasting and she had to lose this amount of weight in 30 days for Coachella. I'm just, that may not be the right time frame, but just her work ethics, her passion for it, like she poured all her strength out of it and put it into her music. And I don't want to be like her, but I inspired to be like that. Yeah. Because it takes a lot of strength to be where she is. It's not, a lot of people don't think of it, she got money, she had to, had to work for that. Right. And she really put her blood, sweat, and tears into it. So I would say Beyonce.
So you like her grind?
I like her grind, yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I can agree with that too, because she would be one artist out of a few that didn't turn to drugs to get where she's at. A lot of people use drugs to get that extra push, and hers is just all natural. It's desire. So I could go for that.
And that's, to me, that's strength, because a lot of people can't do that. Like they gotta drink, they gotta smoke or whatever they do to get by. And she used her own energy and poured it into, transmuted whatever she was going through and put it into her music. Whether where they talked about whatever she was going through with Jay-Z and she put it into her music. So and she seems like an energy person, so that's what kind of draw me into her too. Have
you been to one of her shows before?
Never. I've never been to. I need to change that this year. No, I've never been to any of her concerts.
Like, what are some of your work habits? Like, something you need in the studio, or how you prepare yourself to make a song?
No distractions. Not to be rushed. Like I just want, and I don't like when people coming in and out. Like if I book a session, I need it to be my session, and that's it. I don't need people hanging out or sitting around. And if they are in there, I want them to be on the same frequency as me. Like we here to work, we here to vibe, not just sitting here just chilling because we at the studio. Right. But I have to have total peace, because if I tense up, I'm not gonna really pour my. It's not gonna be the same. Yeah.
Okay.
So what it take to bring it out of you, like that soul feeling, like when you record, like what does it takes for you to just Like
Yeah.
what
Like
uplifts
do you gotta go through something?
Yeah.
I was about to say, I hate to say that, but a lot of this music, even if it's not mine, it came from some form of pain or some form of lesson that I had to go through, and I'm able to put it in there instead of crying or get mad. I can put all that energy into the music. So I would say that, yeah, because a lot of music that you may be drawn to is because something in the background led it to it. Even if it's not something currently, I still can kind of channel it and pull it back to put it into the music.
So with music, like that's how you deal with like when you sing, is from experiences of the pain that you felt or like have experienced, or it's just like whatever your day like that day, and you just make a song on that vibe or that feeling.
Yeah, it's both, but like mostly it's what type of time I'm on at the time. So I can be having a bad day, and then around, I don't know what it is, about midnight, that's when I want to sing. So I hope my neighbors don't care about that, because I turn the music up loud like I'm in the studio and I got the cup like it's a microphone. But it just depends on the vibe. Sometimes they'll just hit me out of nowhere, and I just feel like, I'm gonna go ahead and go sing real quick. And it's kind of therapy too. So I would say it's, I'll go through something sometimes, and then it's just, I might be just on that type of vibe that day. So I would say both.
So how you feel like after you've been sung a song and you just release something? Like you said, it's therapy for you. So like I'm assuming like when you do it, it's a release from somewhere. Mm-hmm. So like what's that feeling like after?
It feels like it's like a release, like you said. I would compare it to somebody, like if you go to the gym and you had a great session at the gym, that's exactly what it feels like without the pain. But yeah, it's a relief. It's like I can take a deep breath now. I can go to sleep now. I don't have anxiety now. I can lay down. So yeah, I would say it's a release for me.
So with you singing, what would you say is one of your biggest goals, like destinations to make it with your singing, whether it's performing somewhere, whether it's, being on TV, whether it's just being known as Kamyia all over the world? Like what
Kamyia.
is Kamyia? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But what is like one of your biggest goals when it comes to your talent?
I'm not big on fame. I don't care to be famous, like, so to speak. I just care for you to hear me. I just want people to hear me.
How many people you want to hear you though?
I want the world to hear me, because I feel like, a lot of music I sing and a lot of upcoming things I want to actually write, I feel like somebody out there can relate to it, whether it's good, bad, they can relate to it. And because my goal is to touch your soul, I don't want to just touch mine. I want to be able to touch yours. Or you might be on your 13th reason today, and me singing may change your mind. So
you want the international level. Mm-hmm. Like
it's like I want you to hear it, but it's like I don't want to be. It's not like I want to be famous, but I don't want to be famous.
Yeah, but I'm saying you want to touch people, so like you want to go international and touch the world.
Right.
Like you touching everybody.
She don't care for the spotlight, but she want to make a difference in the world. Is what I'm getting out of it.
Yeah, I get that too.
Like if I was I don't know if it's such thing as a ghost singer, I would be okay with that. If I know, and I can see the feedback and they don't know it's me, it wouldn't bother me. Because I know I touch people. You don't have to know that it's Kamyia. I would like for you to know, but not really, because I don't really care about being famous. I really don't care about being famous.
Yeah, I can feel you on that. Mm-hmm. But
so like for you up and coming yourself, but like what advice would you give a young child that's starting early, like when you found your passion at 15, 16, but you could have made certain decisions to advance your career, but life might have held you back, or however it go. Mm-hmm. Like, what would you tell them? What advice would you give a young up-and-coming artist that's like, I want to sing and I want this to be my career, but they kind of like set it off, like,
they got the passion for it, but they just not like driven to actually do it.
Ambition.
This may sound cliche, but you can't give up. No matter what the circumstances are, even if you have to, maybe if you sing 7 days a week and now it's to the point where you only got one day, still do that one day, because it really do make a difference. to me, I feel like I could have gotten a lot further by not doubting myself. That's another thing. Don't doubt yourself, and don't allow other people to doubt you. Don't let the outside deter you from what you believe in. Even if you feel like you're the only one that believe in yourself, because sometimes that can make you feel crazy. Because it's like, don't nobody else see the vision that I have. Don't give up and don't doubt yourself. That's the biggest thing, because doubt has set me back years. Just doubting myself in the smallest little ways. Self-doubt and self-sabotaging yourself it set me back. So if I was younger, if I was talking to the little girl Kamyia, I would tell the girl, don't give up, because you can sing for real. Like, don't give up. It don't matter what they say, no matter what happened. Even if things don't turn out the way you envision it, always be optimistic to know that it's still gonna work out for you. It may not work out the way you had it planned, but just know that it's going to work out.
Yeah.
So like, you said like doubt was something that held you back, right? Mm-hmm. Now that you getting back to music, because you said you got away from it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, what's that feeling of confidence making you come back harder? Like getting back to music. Like, what's that one thing that just drive you to be more encouraged by yourself to not let go again? Because doubt set you back. Mm-hmm. So what it was that found you?
I would say after, when you go through certain lessons, you get tired of repeating them if you don't learn it the first time. And I always tell people it's a difference in being tired and a difference in being fed up. And I got fed up. So when I got to that point, it kind of put some fire behind me, like put some fire under my feet. Like, I'm going to go hard this time. And a lot of things I conquered, so doubting myself is crazy when all the things I thought I wasn't going to get out of, I got out of it. So I'll be crazy to be doubting myself now if I was able to do that, and that's worse than what I plan on doing. Yeah. So I feel like that's what kind of gave me that drive to like go hard. Don't give up. Just stick to it. Be consistent. That's another thing. Not being consistent. I'll start a cover, and like now I have a project I want to work on, and I literally wrote that hook in 2018, and I'm just now wanting to put it out. Yeah. And there's no reason. I can't tell you I just stopped. I wouldn't be consistent. So now, I feel like I have that discipline too to finish. So discipline and just being fed up with whatever I was dealing with, and fed up with yourself. Becoming self-aware about certain things. So you be like, you kind of get tired of your own bull. You know what I'm saying? You get tired of your own. Like, I'm kind of tired of my own self now. So yeah. So
time to make some noise.
Yeah.
So like, who is somebody that you would like to work with? It's like, it could be any gender, male or female, like that you would just like in the future at some point want to work with and do a song.
Like a singer?
Yeah, anybody. It could be a singer, a rapper. It don't matter. Like, just who?
Another artist.
Yeah.
Boosie.
Boosie.
I know. Yeah, Boosie.
Boosie. Yeah, that'll go crazy right there.
Boosie. I always want to work
cool
with him.
That one.
And with Boosie, the reason why is because the same way I was telling you I'll take a rap song and sing it, like, that's why it was always easily, it was easy for me to do it, because I feel like he was like the Jasmine Sullivan rapper, the hood part of her. Like, he put his soul into it, but he's not a singer. Yeah. But I just feel like his voice, his tone, just what he been through. Well, I'm not saying I went through anything like he did, but I just feel like I vibe more with him. I grew up listening to Boosie. So I would, as far as a rapper, it would be Boosie. A singer, her. I would want to work with her.
I can see that.
She that's more of my vibe. Like,
I say she's very underrated.
She's very underrated. They have to stop playing with my girl.
Yeah.
So, like, what are your plans with music? Like, do you know how far you want to go with it? Because you have multiple talents, and we're going to get into some of the other ones. Mm-hmm. So how far do you want to go with music? Like, is that something like that's your strong point of all your talents, or is just something that you're passionate of doing?
Well, I'm gonna always be passionate about singing, whether I go far with it or not, or choose not to. Right now, just to be transparent, because I'm just rediscovering myself and, you know, getting that passion, that real passion for it. I'm not quite sure how far I want to take it, but I know that I don't want to settle with it. And the reason why is, you know, I can't really answer that question, so to speak, because I discovered other gifts, you know, around the time where I put singing to the back burner. And I also feel like that's what also put me back into singing, because I had to discover other things about myself, and I feel like it kind of coincide with each other. So, and I didn't know that at the time, because, you know, certain things that I popped off with other gifts, and I was like, okay, well, if I was known for this, I always thought if I was going to be on this, it'll be for singing. But maybe that's just not what God planned it to be. Maybe it's going to be the opposite. So I feel like, you know, after I learned these different gifts and, you know, went through some things, gained knowledge, you know, got older, now he reverted me back. Okay, now I got you here, so I'm going to take you back here. So now you got something to sing about for real. Not saying that I didn't, but it's more passionate now because I have some more wisdom. I have some lessons. I have some pain
Your
now.
story more interesting.
Yeah,
now.
it's more interesting.
You don't went through a little more life.
Right. So now the singing it's not, it won't be just me singing somebody's song. You really like, oh, did she go through that for real? Like it's gonna be like that. Yeah.
So you can say that probably, like, you know, with you, if you get a deal right now, like, how long you see yourself actually doing music, even when you grab the success of it, like, how far you see yourself with it? That's something you feel like you'll always be doing, even though you'll be working on other things, unwrapping other gifts. Do you think music will be something that you'll always be doing, despite whatever the future turn out to be? Music will always be something you would do, or not?
I think music will be something I always, because I'm passionate about it. And I now, if you saying if I got a deal or something, I feel like I'm gonna always want to, because now I'm about to experience things I never seen. So I feel like I'm gonna always have that momentum to want to keep going, because I'm about to go to this place I've never been. I'm singing in this type of platform, meeting producers I've never seen before. It's gonna kind of keep like, okay. Long as the momentum going, I feel like it's gonna, you know, I'm gonna stay on it. But even if I didn't go far, I couldn't see myself not singing, because, like I said, it's therapy to me, and it's a gift, and I can't run away from my gift. I can't do. I mean, even if I don't sing, it's still there.
So that music is something you gonna always be doing.
I'm gonna always do that. I'm gonna always be Kamiya Singz. I'm gonna always be that.
So like, go ahead.
Like, who are some of your biggest supporters?
As far as like family.
Yeah, like.
Or just in general.
Yeah, just in general. Like, who you got the most support from?
My sisters. I got little sisters.
Okay.
Most definitely. Sometimes they don't think it, like, I guess because I don't react really, but sometimes they'll be in the living room, like if they was at my house, I remember when they were younger, and then they're singing my song, putting the YouTube on instead of listening to other people's songs. They're never singing my song word for word. Yeah. So, and that make me feel good, because I'm like, okay, y'all listen to me instead of
them your first fans.
Yeah. Right. And they coming out, you know, who is that playing? You know. So I would say my sisters and my family, they supported me, but biggest supporters would be my sister. And I would say I have a friend. His name's Skits. He was a big support, because when I started to want to take it serious again, because I had different aspects in my life where I start, stop. But he was real encouraging as far as like marketing. You can do it, put that out there. Even if it didn't go nowhere, like just a big support. And I appreciate that. Now, I don't want to not name nobody else because I can't think of it, but those are the first two that come to mind right now. But my biggest supporters would be my sister.
Herbal Divine. Let's talk about Herbal Divine.
Yeah, like, for the people that don't know, or you know what I'm saying, like, what is Herbal Divine?
Herbal Divine is my business. I sell intention. They're called intention candles, and the candles are to help promote you to attract certain things or ward off certain things. So I have candles that helps you attract abundance and prosperity and money. I have one that's for self-love.
No voodoo.
No, it's so. I'm glad you brought that up. So, voodoo and hoodoo is two different things. This can be a form of hoodoo, but my goal is for you to not think of nothing. Don't think of religion. Don't think of no practices. I want you to understand energy and your intentions and frequency to attract the things you want. And it is a form of that because hoodoo is a African and Native American practice. Our ancestors used hoodoo, and a lot of us don't know that we do it unconsciously. We just don't put a name to it. But to me, it's just energy work, and my goal is to teach you how to manifest, teach you about law of assumption, law of attraction, and to know that it's within you. Like, you may get my candle, but I don't want you to think, well, Kamyia, no. I want you to know that I gave you the platform, I gave you a tool, but the reason why it's working, is because of your intention. You set the intention on there. So to compare something simple that we do versus candle, because I'm the type of person, like, if I was just going blind in, I'm like, how in the world a candle gonna help me get some money? Put it like that. So when I mean set the intentions, think about when it's your birthday and you got a cake, you put the candle on there and you make a wish. You close your eye, you make a wish, and you put that intent or make that wish out to whoever, whatever, and you are waiting on it to attract to you. Same thing. When we say our grace over our food, we say our grace because of what? We send the intentions that we want it to be good for the nourishment of our bodies. It's not poison or whatever, but you're setting an intention. You're setting your energy. You didn't physically do anything. It's the energy. So I want to teach people to kind of transform that in a positive way. So that's what that is. I have other things that's under Herbal Divine, but my main thing were my candles. So I wanted people to understand that you can transform your life or bring in protection and bring in money, bring in love with your energy. Like, you can do it. You the creator of your own life. So, and I just found a way for me that worked for me, and it unintentionally became a business because it wasn't supposed to be a business. So that's what Herbal Divine is.
Okay.
So I was gonna ask, like, with it being unintentional, what made you decide to start doing it? Outside of you being an energy person, being, also spiritual, but more of an energy person, what made you, like, wake up one day like, well, let me start doing candles, or let me start,
So it didn't work. It did not work out like that. For one, this was not supposed to be a business at all. I feel like I first went through a real spiritual awakening when I was about 20. I was 23. I was just, I don't know, just everything just started to look different to me. I was confused. That's when I started really understanding what spiritual warfare is. And I don't know where the candles came from, to be honest with you. I don't know what I seen or what I heard. I just knew that certain things just started to come to me, and it resonated with me. At first, I didn't know what I was doing. It just felt I had a pull to start trying different things, and it was a lot of trial and error, but it wasn't like I woke up and I want to do this, because honestly, I didn't believe in this, simply because of me. A lot of people don't want to get down to nitty gritty and be honest about it, but because coming up in the church, we have this mind frame of that, this is this way and this is that way, and this way is demonic, this way is that, but and that's how I grew up. So if you were to tell me when I was a teenager, I would have said you the devil or something, because my mind wasn't open to just see, instead of making judgment about it. So at the time, I started trying to find ways to help transform my mind, to like train my subconscious mind to be more positive. How can I attract things with my energy? But like I said, I don't know where it came from, to be honest with you. But I remember getting a candle. I don't know where I got it from. I think Dollar Tree or something. But I don't think it was meant for that. It was just the name on it. So I always would buy them, like, the ones that say calm or tranquility and stuff like that. So I got a pull to what it said. So I started buying it because of what it said. So that's when it started drawing into me. I'm like, okay, well, I wonder if I can put that energy into it and then revert it back to me. I didn't understand energy like that. It was just kind of like trial and error. So it became a business because people start asking me. I felt like that was God's way of telling me to make it a business. I was posting it, my candles and what I was doing, like on my story, but it was only just because I'm posting, just showing people. So people started writing me. It was like, how much are your candles? I'm like, I don't sell no damn candles. You know what I'm saying? I don't sell candles. So I kept hearing it, like just kept hearing it over and over and over. But I also had a vision one day. I don't know if I had a dream or I was just daydreaming that I was, at the time I was living with my grandma, and she had this computer room, like her office room. And I saw myself sitting on the floor with boxes of candles around me. And I was confused. I'm like, why do I need 30, 40, 50 candles? I need just 2 or something, So I just went off of that. It kept nudging me. But when people start asking me, I just say, well, maybe I should just see. So the first person that wrote me about it, I told them that, I just wanted them to know that I'm not legit. Or I didn't feel like I was legit.
This ain't then not
like,
really do.
It's not really do, but if you feel comfortable. Yeah. So I remember I made a girl a candle, and I started off selling them for like $12. And I think she wanted it for like protection. And I made the candle, and at that time I didn't understand that, and we'll get on that, like different herbs and oils and things that can help attract certain things, even stuff like in your house that you got.
Right.
And I made the candle for her, and I bought some index cards because I was trying to make it more personal. Instead of me typing it, I would write out different affirmations for her to say while she doing the candle. I'll give instructions on how to do it, and I just kind of winged it because I was like, it worked for me, but I don't know. I'm gonna just see. So she sent me this long message telling me what happened. Like
it worked.
It worked. Basically. It pretty much worked. So it was something like, I don't know, not to tell her business or anything, but she needed some protection from, I don't know if it's a family member or whatever. It was like real crucial. And it wasn't that long later, maybe some days later, she came back, and she sent me like 3 paragraphs telling me. So I started feeling confident. I'm like, well, okay, well, I'm gonna just do it again and see. So that was back in 2020. I started the business. I had my son back in 2019. And no, that was 2019. It was during COVID. And a month later, that's when I don't even know where the name came from, Herbal Divine. I started like a month later, and it just took off. And I was actually nervous to do it because of what people can think behind it. The background I came from, and I wasn't confident. I was still kind of conflicted in myself. So I just went for it. And I was like, well, I don't see nobody. I'm not saying that other people in Montgomery not doing it, but me personally at the time, I had never seen that before. So that was different for me, like not knocking hairstylists, barbers, lash techs, nothing like that. That's what people that entrepreneurs doing things like that, but I didn't see any other people doing it. So I was extra nervous, so I just started posting it. Okay, people started, how much a candle? I started, making little by little, and it took off. And I've been doing it. I was consistent with it from 2019 until the end of like 2021, and the same thing with the music. Kind of strayed away from it. So now I'm starting to pick back up, and it's the same reason like with the music.
So during that time, like that was your first customer,
mm-hmm.
and that was the first time you knew that this actually works.
Right, that was my first time. I still got it in my I think it's in my Snapchat memory. And I always keep my reviews because, when I made it a business, I'm the type of person, especially something like this, I don't want you thinking I'm gypping you. I want you to know that I want you to feel comfortable, for one. Not even about gypping. I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel comfortable. I want to make sure I'm informative so especially if you came from a background like me. I don't want you to be like, oh, she a witch. She'll do this. And that is, and that, to be honest, that is, you can use this candle magic in hoodoo. It is. So I would say, for me, I do practice hoodoo, but I don't present it that way because I want people to, not saying I'm throwing something underhanded. Mm-hmm. I want them to look at the main goal of it. I want you to understand yourself. I want you to show how you can change your mind. You can reprogram your subconscious mind.
Give them the purpose of what the candle is for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like, in a way, now that was God's way of trying to help you with you being spiritually connect with people on different spectrums? Like, for people that may believe too, but spiritually, like you said, they need that extra push, that extra lift. Mm-hmm. You could go read a scripture to some people, but it's not going to have the same meaning as them having a candle or having something physical. Some people need that physical connection. Yeah. I think that was why
I do. And it's crazy to me because that was because of how I grew up. That was not what I thought I was going to get into because like I said, even in my family, if it is people in my family that believe in it, they must be quiet about it. I have one cousin, that I know that's like that. And when I found out she was like that, I wasn't open-minded then because I looked at her like that. It took me some years later to tell her, I judged you, you know what I'm saying? Because, I was being judgmental. I'm like, why is she talking about her ancestors and doing all that? Like, because I was ignorant to it. Right. Yeah. So now I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it, So, that is, and when you brought up scripture, I also want to teach duality. Like you don't have to go one way because I do include scriptures with certain candles, so it can help you to boost it a little bit. Right. So, so it coincides with each other, and also I want no matter what you believe in, what's your ethnicity, I want you to understand it's all the same. It's all about your intention. So even when you read a scripture, I always try to tell people I have an ebook called Shielded, and it's how to use Psalms 91 to your life. And nowhere in the book I pinpoint anything about church or anything like that. I want you to know the intent behind the word. Don't think about because it came from the Bible, because it's from church. Even if you don't believe in God or whoever you believe in, I want you to understand the intention behind it and how to use it in all aspects. Protection can be anything. It can be mentally, it can be physically, it can be in all aspects. So, they all coincide together.
Do you look at it as a form of slight meditation too at the same time? Like, do you think some people could look at it like that as they're reading the scripture, the candle burning, they in a room or they just in the house relaxing, whether they're playing music, reading a book, you still look at it as like a form of meditating?
Yes, I do. And also, because I want you to be comfortable, I give instructions on how to use the candle. And that's one of my main things. I always tell people, don't look at it as a chore. Don't feel like, I got to hurry up and burn this candle. So, no, I want you to wait till you in a chill mode. You might not be chill at the time. You took your bath and chill out and then, do whatever I ask you to do with the candles because, like I said, it's your intent. So, yes, I put the intention and I made it. But I don't know your story. I don't know what you're going through. Even if you're not going through, I don't know why you got the candle. So you got to put your vibe into it. Don't think about just because Kamyia got it. No, I want you to put your intent, but you got to put yourself in that vibe to do it. So, yes, it would be like a form of meditation.
Okay. So I got two questions, right? Which one, I want, for one, the first question is the four candles you have right here, right? Mm-hmm. Could you break down each candle, describing like what each one is for, and also which one of those sold the most, like that are still selling, like the most common one?
Okay. Well, just to answer the second question first, it would be my protection and my money candle. Because everybody want money.
I was say everybody want money.
I might need one of them tonight.
But see, with the money candle, so this is my money candle, and I named it Money Magnet. And I don't want people to know. I don't want people to feel like it's just to attract money, because you want this to be long term. So I set the intentions for you to release the mindset of lack. Stop telling yourself I'm broke, because you're speaking that over yourself. You don't realize something as simple as, man, I'm always broke.
Smell good too.
I don't know. I don't never got no money. I want you to change your mindset of, release that mindset of like negativity towards money, the anxiety, release that mindset of poverty. Maybe you came up like that and you don't have to live like that. You can change that. And I also want you to know abundance and prosperity it don't have to be money for them. It can be that you went through the drive-through and the person behind you bought you some food, or you found a $50 bill on the ground. But it's just to put you in that frequency, because people look at money as something physical, but people that really get money, that they in the frequency of money, not just because they go to work every day. Because I can go to work every day and still not making no money.
Right.
But you're not in the frequency. I can go to work and come home and still say, it's always a bill, and if it's one thing, it's another. You putting yourself in that dark energy, and I want this to change that. And the way I make that one, I use certain, one thing I use that's in your kitchen is cinnamon. Cinnamon is good for abundance and prosperity. And I want people to understand, like, going back to our roots. They didn't have all these things. They had to pull from we wouldn't even, back then, we wouldn't even allowed to read. They get beat for reading. Right. So that's where, this practice came in. That's where it came from. But they had little to nothing. But most of it was their intention, and I want people to go back to that so they can know that you don't have to buy it. Because I want people to know these are just tools. It's not really the candle. So when you buy the candle, yeah, it's going to work for sure. But it's because of the intent that was put on it.
You reminding us.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
got you.
So that's my money candle. Now, these two are the exact
hold
same
on,
thing.
I'm gonna remember that color. That green. Okay.
And also,
money green.
Yeah, that's why I was
money blue today.
That's another thing, too. The color coordinated. Green is a color of abundance and prosperity and, of course, money. So that's why I would use green for my money candle. These are actually the red and pink one. They're actually the same as that one. I brought both because I wanted people to know. I don't want this to be, because you see pink, women just think it's just for girls, because this is my self-love candle. And it's unisex. And red and pink are good colors too for attraction of love. Harmony, peace, and things like that. And that's why I brought both. But I want people to know it's unisex too, because men need to love on themselves too, and not just on a physical level. Like, just like women, we be like, oh yeah, I'm her. I want you to feel like you him. Like, and the aspect behind this is deeper. Just like the money counter is not just about money. I want you to set healthy boundaries. I want you to be gentle with yourself. I want you to love your body the way it is, even if you're in the midst of changing it. Just be grateful. Speak kind to yourself. That's self-love. Now, you can use this for like a partner, or I've had people buy it like for sex. And and I'll touch on that. But it's because a lot of times you get that start to attract to you because you start loving yourself. I never forget the first man that ever bought it from me. He told me, maybe you should, because he understood this type of work. So he was like, I think you should suggest people buy a protection candle when they get it, because he said, when I went to the club, all the niggas were flocking. And I was like, it can be an ex from when you were 12 or start coming around, because it's like people can feel when you
say a man about this?
Mm-hmm. I had 2 males to buy it.
First of all, do not have her repeat herself, because she said all the niggas was flocking.
Okay, he was a gay guy.
Make sure, you know what I'm saying? That ain't sound right.
He was a gay guy.
You said a man? Yes, that's exactly.
It was a straight. Okay,
hey,
so
hey, no offense, brother, no offense.
Okay.
It was a straight guy and a gay guy that bought it, and I could tell you for both aspects, but that was a gay guy that said that, and I remember. The straight guy, he didn't know anything about this. He just was trying it. And I was telling him, I was already kind of more experienced with it. I was like, you might have some exes that start coming around, because I don't know what it is when you start loving on yourself. It's like they can smell, oh, a minute now, let me. And probably like a week later, this was back in like 2022. And he was like, man, remember that ex I was telling you about? Why she called me out the blue? I ain't talked to her in like 2 years. And it was after he burnt the candle. But, but it's mostly I want you to love yourself. You can attract a partner, do all that with it. It's going to come with it, but I want the intent to be you first. I always want it to be within you, because you can't really love nobody if you don't love yourself. You can't enjoy nobody else if you ain't enjoying yourself.
You got to love yourself. Self-love is everything. You can't even love nobody else if you don't love yourself.
Right.
And then it keep you from being a pushover. Like, people can't run over you if you love yourself more than you love anybody else. Just not more than God, but love yourself. Right.
And that's what inspired, because like I said, this was never supposed to be a business. It was what I was doing for myself. And I always say, I wish I had a me in my life, like for certain things that I've been through. So you know, and I'm not a gatekeeper. If it's helping me, man, let me help somebody else. You know, it don't kill nobody I ain't gonna kill me to help somebody else, especially if it don't cost me no money.
Right.
Even if you did, but still. And when you said pushover, I can be honest and say I was a people pleaser, gullible, naive. I've been the duck, been green, and I had to learn that it had to be something within me that keeps attracting that, because why I keep attracting it. Right. So when I started to truly love me for me, like, I don't care, you like me today and say I don't want to talk to you tomorrow, okay, bye. When I got to that point, it was because of me.
Self-love. Yeah,
so, and that's the intent that I want on that. So even male or female, I want you to feel like that. Right. But this one is the money candle, and my protection candle is my best seller. My protection candle is called Can't Be Fucked With.
Can't be fucked with. I like that. See, I wake up every day feeling like that.
Can't be fucked with.
I named it that because that's the energy I want you to be in. I want you to feel like I can't be fucked with. God got me, or whoever you believe in.
That confidence.
Just that confidence. Like, you not trying to say you invincible, you know, but man, I can't be fucked with energetically.
Shit, my bad.
Oh no, you good. I got plenty of them.
Oh yeah, this smell like you can't be fucked with.
So, but the intent behind that is not just, you know, I know people think protection is just physical, but it's not. You might need protection mentally. You know, maybe you going through mental conflict. Physical, maybe you going through abuse or something like that. Got negativity at work, negativity at home, or a family member or something. So I set strong, aggressive intention. This one, to me, that's why I said, because it's so potent. I feel like it's like sage in a bottle, as a candle. You want something to go away, it's gonna go away like that. And also, it promotes peace and healing too, because I feel like you lack that peace and that healing sometimes, because that whatever you feel like you need protection from is blocking it. So once you clear that, you know, ward that negativity off, you'll be able to really be in that healing. You can start that healing process. You can finally be in that peaceful mode. And also, I feel like it's good for yourself, because you might be your worst enemy. So you might be self-sabotaging it. So it can go all ways when it comes to protection. And that's why I named it. I want you to feel like, you know, I can't be fucked with. You can't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be like that. So that the protection candle and the money candle, I would say, would be my best seller.
Like, just as a side note, like, for future customers, like, where can they purchase it?
Right now, it will be on my Beacon. I have a Shopify website. It's Herbal Divine Global.myshopify.com. And then you can go on my Beacon site, and that's where my ebook is too. And if anybody want that, it's only $1, because I really just wanted people to read it, not really make no money off of it.
I'm gonna get it just.
Oh yeah.
Like, what's the name of it?
The
ebook.
Shielded.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The link it's Beacon, and then it should be beacon.Kamiya Singz. But if you like on TikTok, it's in my bio too. If
we'll drop the link in the description.
Yeah,
so
okay.
They can get the link.
Now I did see post the notes that BET noticed you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had an appearance on BET.
I did. That was so random.
So how did that come about? And how was the experience for you? Also, again, how it came about, but also how was the experience for you? Because that's big.
That is big. It was random, like a random day, and I wasn't even really selling candles like that. That was the moment. That was around the time like I don't think I had sold candles in months, to be honest with you. That was the year. Honestly, I think that I didn't want to admit it, but I think I was still grieving my dad, or grieving him and didn't know I was grieving him, because it was back in 2022. My dad died January 3rd of 2022, and BET contacted me October, and I didn't know it was BET. So it was I got a phone call that I almost didn't answer, because I didn't answer random calls.
That's me.
And it was a guy that said, "Hey," but my store is on Google, so it's easy to just call me. And I get random calls, like people ask, you know, where my store is. But the guy called and he was like, you know, I'm a producer. We're here in Montgomery filming. I'm like, in Montgomery, Alabama? Not trying to downplay Montgomery. I'm like, what y'all filming? So he was like, I have a cast member. We're down here filming, and one of them went to the museum here, and I think he was talking about the the Legacy Museum, and he was like, the energy from the museum had him feeling eerie, and he wanted something like a protection candle, something to connect with his ancestors, and he needed tonight. So I'm already taken aback that you're talking about. I'm trying to figure out who you're talking about because he's kind of being discreet. But my gut was telling me, God saying, just be obedient, just listen. So, but me, because of how I make the candles and its energy, you know, I had to stand my ground on like the timing. So I told him, you know, I can't rush something like that. You know, you have to give me like a day or two because, you know, it's not gonna work if I don't. I have to sit with it. You know, I have my own little.
It's
thing.
a process.
It's a process to it, and I would be wrong to half step you. So I made the candle. He told me he wanted to keep it discreet. He didn't want a label on it. I didn't put a label. I put my business card in there, but I didn't put the label on it.
Got to market now.
You don't know where you got it from. You got it, but I didn't know it was BT at the time. So they had one of the, I guess, producers or somebody. They came, pulled up to my house and got it one night, and the girl was like, "It's for." I asked, I said, "Do you happen to know who?" I'm just trying. It was just bothering me. I'm like, who can it be? And when I do energy, sometimes I can kind of pick up. Not saying I'm a psychic or nothing, but I can kind of feel like what it's for or what gender it is. And at the time, I was down myself, but I said, I feel like it's like for a man or something. So the girl came and she was like, "No, it's for Amber Rose." I said, like Wiz Khalifa, Amber Rose, bald head, Amber Rose.
Like the real one?
The real one, like the real kind. So she was like, "Yeah." So I'm hyped up, going in the house. I'm on the phone with my friend. "Girl, I just get the candle for Amber Rose," but it still felt disconnected. I'm like, Amber Rose, that don't even sound right. So maybe like a week later, he called back and he said, no, he texted me. The producer texted me and he said, "We would want to know that if you could." What did he ask me? He asked me, could I come to the house where they were filming, and can I sage the space because they felt like something was in the house, and do I mind being on camera? So now I'm like, okay, y'all somebody serious now, because you like,
now it seemed real.
It seemed real. Now, first of all, you called me back, and I still don't know because I didn't know that where they were filming, why they were here, who they were, nothing. So he I said, I can show y'all. I didn't tell him that, but in my head, I'm like, I'm not Ghostbusters. I'm not doing all that. I'll show you how to do it, but I'm not going to walk around it because I don't know what I'm getting into. That's not what I do. I could teach you though. But, and I said, he said, I can be on camera. And I said, well, the girl, trying to see if he'll just tell me who the candle was for, to hear from him. He was like, yeah, he loved it. And I said, it's not for Amber Rose. He said, definitely not. That's exactly what he said.
Oh, they baited you in, throwing that big name out there.
Yeah, so, but, you know, getting into it, Amber Rose was a part of this. It just wasn't.
So she was like on the show.
She was on the show, but it was.
The candle went for her.
So, I'm like taken aback because I'm like, dang, I ain't been making candles. I'm like, I'm finna start all over again. So, I'm kind of nervous. So he telling me, you know, you got to. Another producer had the lady called me, and she was like, you know, you'll come on this day at 7. Wear these type of colors because, you know, these colors look a little funky on the camera. It can make it throw it off. We need you here at this time. Blah 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 blah. So I'm okay. I'm gonna get my hair done, get some clothes. I'm still ripping and running because I'm not really in the energy right now. I don't know what I'm stepping into. So my gut told me make a lot of candles. Get a lot of sage, get all my products, and just take it with me and just see. Because really, they just told me to show them how to sage. So I get to the house, and it was in Montgomery. It was in the houses in Old Cloverdale. I don't know if y'all familiar with it.
Cloverdale.
Yeah.
What year was this?
2022.
So it was 2 years ago.
Yep. This was
3 now, going on 3.
3. God damn.
This was in 2022. It was like around because really I was supposed to go on Halloween. And then they rescheduled it, which I was glad because I wasn't ready. So I get there. They told me to park at the church. It's on Fairview. It was a church, and they said a shuttle van will come pick me up. So they came pick me up, and we drove to the house. And I was like, I ain't never seen a house like I guess maybe how the lights look. I felt like I went in Montgomery. So the producer walked me back, and it was just like on TV, like all the directors running around with the headsets on, 50 people in the back. They had me to sign an NDA that I couldn't say anything about it until they air it. So when I'm walking up, I'm looking through the window, and I see New York off of Flavor of Love, and I was like, oh, this for real. Like, okay. So so they got me to the back and
Wired up and stuff.
yeah, they got me wired up, and they took me to the front door and said this was gonna happen. You're gonna go to the door, you're gonna ring the doorbell, and Orion gonna open it. And I said, who? He said, oh, you know who Orion is? I was like, yeah, but I'm calm at the time. I wasn't even nervous, to be honest with you.
Who is Orion though?
Orion,
Omarion,
bro.
I was about to say, you see how I turn my head? Like, are you serious?
Yeah, B2K.
Yeah, that's Omarion, brother. So, and that's it. So I don't know what I'm going into. They just said when he opened the door, just say, hey, who you is, and just go through. So I rung the doorbell. He came to the door. He was like, hey, what's up? He hugged me. The cameraman following us to this, it was like this little patio that was sitting outside. And I walked in, and it was Ray J, New York, Parker from My Wife and Kids, Amon Shuford, and Quay. Blame It on Quay. They was all sitting at the table. They were just drinking.
So you was in the presence of some celebrities.
Yes. So I go in, and Orion said, hey, y'all, this is Kamyia. And everybody say, what's up? And I asked them what was going on, because I don't know what, because I see the cameraman is just, they filming, but they didn't tell me
what to say, what to ask.
Right. Like. So I asked what's going on. Ray J, I'm not sure if he was, I couldn't tell if he was joking or for real. He was like, we got ghosts in the house. And New York got up from the table, like she didn't even say nothing. She just walked off, and they were like, she just walked off because it's really in her room. And they was like, yeah, when we be sleep, blaming on Quay, he was like, when we sleep, like we keep hearing all this banging and stuff knocking over. So we sat down, and I was able to talk to them about how energy works. I was talking about the candles. Ray J was saying that it's a part on that everybody been laughing about, but I think he was serious. But he was like, he don't like sage, and I'm big on not forcing that on people. If you feel uncomfortable, I'm not, because there are other ways to cleanse the energy. And I was letting them know, because they're not from here. From my understanding, it's hunted over there. So I don't know. I'm not from that side of town. And I explained to them how energy works. Told them about my candles, and they told me to go. They wanted to go where the room that they had the problem with. So I guided them. I didn't do it. I just showed them. Because sage, I'm not sure if y'all familiar, with sage and Palo Santo. I was showing them about, cleansing themselves, cleansing the space, and also with them being celebrities, you got to understand that y'all are around like all type of energy, all type of people, and energy transfer. So it can, you can go in a room and, let's just hypothetically speaking, just say you got a demonic spirit, or you depressed or whatever, and I'm always around you. I eventually can pick up on that, especially if you're not spiritually guarded for real. Yeah. So, and with them, they're like, we're talking about Ray J now. So he been in the game since a child. I remember watching him on Moesha. Yeah. So I was like, you gotta understand you're around it. So they end up getting every candle that I had, every sage, everything I had. By the end of the show, I think I was there like 2 hours, and I ended up finding out the candle was for Orion, because he ended up telling me after the show that did happen.
So even when you got there, you still thought it was for Emerald?
Yeah, I did. I ended up seeing her.
So you met her?
I met her. She just wasn't at the time. So they were filming College Hill Celebrity Edition. Okay. Now that I know, and then I didn't know that she wasn't on the show anymore, because there was a segment where she stopped being on the show. And I saw her when it was time for me to go. She was standing outside, and I met her then. But it was her and Jocelyn. She wasn't there. It was her birthday. Her birthday was like a couple days before that, and I think she went out of town. But Jocelyn probably would have been there.
Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop. Mm-hmm. Jocelyn Hernandez. She wasn't there, but she was a part of the show. But the episode that I was on, they were already off the show. Her and Amber. It was like a little tussle they had at the school, so they was pretending to be students at Alabama State. But they was already off the show. But it was a real, real good experience. I did not know what I was walking into. I did not know they was at Alabama State. I didn't go to Alabama State. I don't participate nothing with ASU. So that was random. And to this day, I wondered how they found me. I was like, maybe they just Googled like metaphysical business or something like that. But that was a good experience. So anything like the clips that they put out, because they actually deleted the scenes.
For real?
Yeah, they deleted.
What episode was this?
I think this was episode.
What season? Maybe
This is season. If I'm not mistaken, it was season 2. Because I think the first season was at a different school in Texas. I think this was season 2 for College Hill. I wasn't even watching College Hill.
Yeah, me either.
So I wasn't keeping up with it. But it was a lot of things on the on my segment. I wish they didn't cut out because I was explaining a lot. But they end up posting it on the BET platform because a lot of scenes, even that I went on, I guess maybe with production, I don't understand that part of that end. Maybe it just couldn't fit, but they still posted it, so you can see that I was on there. But that was a very great experience, and that goes back to me, saying about doubting yourself, because people, anything that you do, if it's content, like post it, because my Herbal Divine page don't get that type of traction, but behind the scenes I do. Like my first 4 months, I think, selling the candles, I had already shipped out to 10 different states already. So,
wow.
So that was a great experience, and it was very random.
So you already expanded past Montgomery.
Oh yeah, I think the first few months I had hit 10 out of the 11 of the 50 states we have.
So was they like in the South or like out the region?
I think the furthest was Washington.
Washington?
And one girl, she ended up not getting it, but I was considering it. She asked me could I send it to Germany because she was in the military. So I haven't made it out the country yet, but
it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's good too, because your candles open doors that your music can open, but probably wasn't gonna open as soon.
Right.
So he gave you different opportunities to reach the platforms that you need to reach and still get your name out there.
Yeah.
Because it's still everybody
finding
out.
Because even with
people.
this, I want you to, just like my music, I want to touch you. So, yeah, I agree.
I like that.
So like when you walked in that house, like what feeling did you have seeing all them celebrities in person? Like,
At one time.
Yeah, like these really them.
Maybe
like,
I would have been smiling so hard. They
I
like,
was.
what's wrong with
Oh,
her?
well, they would have seen all 32 of your teeth.
They would say, what's wrong with her?
You know what? You know what's funny? Because I'm a real like transparent person. So at the time, now I was shocked. I wasn't nervous. I always thought just because if I was in the presence of celebrities, I would be nervous. I actually felt like they were my friends. Like
Yeah, it felt normal.
It felt normal and natural. I don't know if I was just on a high and didn't know, like a natural high. But to be transparent, I was shocked to feel good going in there because I was not making candles. I was not in a good place. I was not confident in myself at the time. I felt like I had lost myself again. But when I got there, I felt confident, and I think I felt good because I prepped myself for it. I tried to tell myself, hey, don't be nervous, because not being cocky, hey, they call you. They need your help.
Right.
They
You got to come deliver at this point.
So if I was feeling that way, my goal was to go in there and just command the room.
Right.
Make sure everybody paying attention. They intrigued, even if you never heard it. And again, I had to just, hey, they call you, Kamyia. They call you because I didn't even know y'all were here. I don't even know y'all. I knew you off TV. But yeah, I felt good. It felt, and they wouldn't like normal. They would, how people have their own perception of, they think celebrity. No, they were just regular, and it was my birthday. That's what made it even better.
Oh.
It was my birthday, and they found out it was my birthday. They wanted to drink. They want me to leave. The producers were trying to kick
So
me
they
out.
was really fucking with your energy.
Yes. The park, you gonna come back next week? And I was like, I want to stay here now. Okay, we gonna pull up. So it was like how we sitting. It was just like there's no difference.
You actually made a connection with them as you come to deliver.
Yep. And then even after the fact, I was able to go outside and sit on the steps with Orion, and just talk, just kick it, and it felt natural. Like I'm like, Janae, I go, that, like in my head, like, but it felt good, and I felt confident. And I think it's just because I prepped myself, because going in, I was not, because like I said, I almost told them no, because I didn't want to be on camera. I was not confident. It was just in a place at the time I was just conflicted with, how I look. A lot of people know me too, like not just from my gifts. I had that doubt, and I had went through a weight loss journey. I'm real big on my health and stuff, and I had gained that weight back. And I think maybe I'm not trying to blame my dad, but that's the only thing I can think of. I'm like, I've been on it so good, so I had lost 80 pounds. I'm feeling good, feeling confident, and you talking about getting in front of the camera? I was like, I don't even want to take pictures at home. And I almost told them no, and I almost didn't answer the phone. So I'm grateful that I did. And now I answer every call, even if it say scam likely. I'm going to answer it because I'm going to answer
when that blessing
See, after BET, might be stars, man.
Right. It might be 50 cents. So you want to be on power?
Bring that spirit.
Right. Never know.
But like when you went there though, because they actually got a protection candle, did you feel like it was like ghosts in there when you went in there? Like,
and they asked me that. They said, "Do you feel?" I said, "Actually, I don't." I said, "I don't know if it's just because I'm in here, but
yeah.
No, I didn't feel like that. Honestly, I wasn't sure if that was scripted because
True.
if you go back and watch the episode, they made it like a Halloween special. Like it was, they everybody run out the room, screaming and hollering.
Hey, that's smooth right there. That's smooth right there.
And then also now the part that I think that was true, because when the producer called me and said they went to that museum and they felt eerie, there is a part on the episode where they got a painting. I don't know if they bought it from there, and they said ever since they put the picture up in the house, just stuff being weird, which I could believe that because people don't know that objects hold energy.
Yeah.
TV is a portal. Like people don't think that deep to stuff like that. So I did believe it, and just from growing up in Montgomery, from my understanding, I'm from the South Side. I'm not from that side of town, but from my understanding, some of those houses are haunted. Like
they so old.
They old. So I said maybe y'all may not be lying though, because I'm like when it get dark in here, maybe so it might. So if you watch it, they all running and screaming. And you can hear Amber Rose, man, it was crazy as shit in here. Like I was finna leave. So they made it like a scary, because the day I was supposed to go was Halloween, so it made sense in a way. So I wasn't sure if y'all just kind of, because I wasn't scripted, but but I think it was just kind of the build the momentum for the show.
So like it worked though, right? Like they ain't see no more ghosts and all that shit no more after you saged the house and they burnt the candles. Like everything was good after that.
Well, I don't know as far as the house, because the next week was their last week filming. So, but I know the person I gave it to, he confirmed to me with his mouth that it worked for him. Okay. And in certain episodes, you can see like the candle sitting on the table while he sleep. It's lit. You can see it sitting on the. They had put it. I told them to put it in places where they felt the bad energy. But I did see a part of the episode, not the one I was on, where I think Orion was like in the bed asleep, and you could see it burning on the side of him. So he was actually using it. So I don't think that was fake. But it's TV too, so they had to make it look, So like it's a part on there where they was getting ready to, I was teaching, which I know Orion is a spiritual person. I follow him, so I knew he was familiar with it more than everybody else in the house. And I was showing him how to use the Palo Santo on himself. And they had to throw in some quay in the back, like I'm gonna stand right here just in case a dread get on fire or something. Just TV. But other than that, I believe they worked for him. But if they did, I don't know if they burnt it in the house or not, because they set it up that didn't come back. So I don't really know. But
but it was originally for him anyway.
Right. So that it was a win-win.
He just stamped that.
Yeah.
So like, what's next as far as like with the candles? Like, what's your goal with that? Like, being that it basically turned itself into a business, because like you say, like that wasn't something that you wanted to make a business. Mm-hmm. But being that it turned itself into a business, like how far you see Herbal Divine?
Originally, I had a store. I had it briefly. I had a suite where you can come in. I wanted it to be like a physical store, but it became a little too much for me because it started to pop. So with me, I wanted to go global online. So I want to constantly sell. I want to get to a point where I have a warehouse of them. And I want to still keep these. These are technically called 7-day candles. Because you can do this with any kind of candles. And I have a YouTube channel where I teach you how to do it. So I don't gatekeep. So if you don't want to buy mine, let me show you how to use it. And you can also, like 7 days, these can burn for 7 days or 3 to 4 days, depends on if you put it out. Me personally, I don't put mine out because I trust it. But I also teach on my YouTube, if you don't, how to, be safe. You can use these. You can use tapered candles, chime candles. I'm big on use what you got because our ancestors didn't have.
So those size candles last 7 days?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, if you burn it consistently, like with my candles, I know people now. A girl just reminded me, like last week. She bought a candle from me 3 years ago, and I reposted something old on my story, and she said, I remember I got that candle in my closet. So you don't have to, when you get my candles, when you get it from me, or even when you do it yourself, you don't have to consistently burn it. Me personally, I like to let it burn because I'm trying to get to the nitty gritty. But if you burn it and it did what it needed to do and it didn't finish, put it out, put it back, and put it up, and then you can bring it back out because the intent gonna still be there. But it can burn. So if I burn it at home, I leave it. It's gonna burn. If I go home and burn it tonight, today is what, Saturday. It'll probably be done, and I'll leave it alone. I'll leave home and everything.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I was finna ask, like, once you use it, how long before you see results? Like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna answer.
So it, to me, it depends on which candle you're using and also what you're dealing with. Sometimes I like when people tell me, usually they do, they feel confident, safe to tell me what's going on, because you can get a money candle and it's not working, but it's probably not working because you got a blockage somewhere. So maybe you need to work on protection first, then burn this, because many of the times that's how I had to do, learn trial and error. Why am I burning this candle, putting this intent into it, and my cash up getting $5, $6? I'm talking about I need like $1,000 right now. It's slow burn. But when I set the intentions on it, to be fast acting but long term, because I don't want it to be once it burn out, I gotta hurry and go get another candle. No, I want it to be 6 months to a year and then you come back, because I also want you to know it's not about money for me. Yes, I'm gonna make my money, but I want this to be a long term thing. I want you to transform your life, not your moment. So, or that moment of what you going
like
through.
You just ain't gonna have no good month where you get a lot of money, and then the next month you might be broke again.
Yeah,
money will consistently come over the time period.
Yeah. So with me, honestly, because I'm confident of how I do my candles. I've heard people say, I remember a girl telling me it started working before she burned it. She said she set it on her dresser, and I think she said it was a job that she wanted, and it had been like forever before, and they just randomly said something to her. I set the intentions for it to be Godspeed of light too. But also it's gonna work off your energy too, because I don't know exactly what you're going through. But I would say they're fast acting. Like within probably 3 to 7 days, you'll start seeing results. You may not see your results like right, but the process will start. It can be soon as you burn it, you'll see something. But it's fast acting.
So like them the only size candles like that you have that they come in, or like is it different sizes? So
now this is what I started off with. I will be revamping and doing a new look in March, because to me I feel like March is technically a new year, and I feel like that's when you bring newness out. So I do want to do away with these candles. These gonna always be my go-to Old Faithful, but I'm gonna start doing smaller candles too, because I'm gonna start promoting things like with this one, this will be long term, and then my smaller ones will be like fast acting. So I'll teach you like maybe you want the same results, but maybe it's an emergency. Like maybe I'm gonna start doing like emergency candles. Maybe you need your rent money yesterday. Yeah. So, and it'll be more potent but smaller, and I kind of want to do away with the glass too. I don't know, I just want to change the look up for it. So I always have these, but probably during spring they'll be smaller. They'll be not technically like the quantity, but like the size, like more the 10 like candles. And to me they're like a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, because I feel like looking at something puts you in that good energy too. Like when we go in Bath and Body Works, that candle's so cute or something like that. But really, I want you to feel like that because it coincides with what I want the candle to do too. So now you unintentionally putting yourself in that energy. Like you say, it's like a meditation. Right. So yeah, it's like it's a mind thing, kind of tricking your mind, but in a positive way.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So like, okay, just say like if I buy a protection candle, right? What would be the best time to really light it? When I mean like the time of the day, like nighttime, evening time, like when I'm waking up in the morning or when I'm laying down, like what would be the best time to like light it? Or just like does it even matter?
Yeah.
It don't matter, but it will matter to you. Like, so I would, like I said, it's about you. So I would say the time of day that you feel comfortable. So if you get in your vibe when you get up in the morning for work or whatever, and that's your me time, I will always tell you be consistent with, if you get up at 6, do it at 6 every morning. If you a person like me, a night hawk, I do better. I always do my candles at night. I get my vibe better at night. So it's about what you feel, because I always tell people, like I said before, I don't want you to feel like this a chore. Okay, I gotta hurry up and get this candle. I gotta write this down, because now you finna put yourself in an anxious state, and you can't attract nothing when you nervous and anxious. So it's off of you. But if you can burn it any time of day, it's gonna work regardless. I'm confident it's gonna work, but it's just whenever you feel comfortable.
Okay. And like you do it, like planning to expand with this brand itself, like far as growing it, and like you said, you know already like hit 10 states with it. Mm-hmm. Like, do you plan on going the whole 50, or do you plan on going just like international with it, far as like other countries? Because you put a lot into it, so I know like a product like that would be good in Africa. Somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying, where the roots are at, like where we come from. You feel what I'm saying?
I want it to go as far as it can go. I do want it to go international, simply because of the different cultures I believe in.
Yeah, that's what basically I was getting.
Yeah, and I actually want to feel that, and I actually want to experience it, because, you know, being in the United States, and I've never been outside the country other than like on a cruise, go to Mexico or something. But even with that, you know, their culture is different, their religion is different, and they may do this in their own little way, and, you know, I never know how this could touch them, or maybe I can learn from them. You know, I feel like that will enhance my business, really. That's another thing I feel like is good with me going international. But yeah, I want it to go global if it can, and I don't want it to just be my candles. I want it, because at the time it was like a supply store. I want it to be all metaphysical. I want it to be, you can get all your tools from me. But mostly my candles is that's the spotlight of Herbal Divine.
So like, how long it take to make one?
It depends on my energy.
On your energy.
Because if I'm not in the energy, I'll turn you down, because I wouldn't do you like that. You
so
know,
you make them to order. Like if I.
Well, when I probably in the last couple of years I did it to order, because I strayed away from doing it. Okay. But when I was doing it consistently, I'll make them in bulk. So I'll have 20 here, 20 here, 20 here, and I'll sit with all of them. Okay. Like the most recent ones I did, usually I'll take a couple of days, but I was in the energy where I was able to sit with them for like 4 hours and just, you know, my little routine I do. And I like to do it that way, because I feel like I'm pulling all my strength out to put the intent into the candle. Mm-hmm. But usually, if you was to say, and I didn't have any, you want to get a candle, I ask you to give me a 2-day window. 2 days. One, to prepare the candle and make sure I'm in a good energy, because if I'm mad and about to crash out, I don't need to put that on the candle, because then when you burn it, you're going to crash out.
Right.
And I don't need you crashing out.
Okay. we going to wrap this thing up, man. We run out of time.
Great episode, man.
Yeah, great episode, man. I appreciate you for coming, taking the time out, man, to be with the good folks tonight and sharing your product and all your gifts that God has blessed you with.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna have to get one of those candles. I need some money.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
I got plenty of them.
Yeah. But let the people know where they can find you at, like how they can reach you, how they can get a candle. Just let them know where they can find you at.
Oh, you can find me on all social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. All social media is official Kamiya Singz, but as far as buying candles, it will be my beacon and my Shopify. So it'll be Herbal Divine Global .myshopify.com, and my beacon, you can get it off their website. Now, if you're on TikTok, my link is in my bio, and you'll see my candles. I sell sugar scrubs, and my ebook is on there also. But it's official Kamiya Singz, and you can make sure you follow my new YouTube too. That's mainly for my candles. It's called Tapped In with Kamyia. So you can
Okay.
Yeah, we gonna tap in. Y'all tap in with Kamyia, man. We gonna tap in, man. Again, we appreciate you for coming.
I appreciate
Definitely
y'all.
a pleasure.
This was
It was
a great
glad to
experience.
have you. We had, I'm feeling them counters now. But
And I'm sorry, not being from Alabama, it was nice to hear about you, learn who you are, learn what you're doing, the difference that you're making in the world with your music and the candles, coming from different perspectives, hitting different people on different platforms. But you do have a great energy.
Thank you.
Beautiful
Thank
smile.
you.
Nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you.
I enjoyed y'all, and I really do appreciate it because I had never seen y'all platform, and I felt the positive energy right off the little clip that I seen. So I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful that y'all invited me. It was great energy. Great to meet y'all. So I appreciate it.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
y'all.
we gonna bring you back,
Yeah.
man. We gonna bring you back. We gonna end that right here. I am your boy Baller Boy Trey. This is Good Folkz Podcast. Remember to like and subscribe.
And comment.
Yeah, we gonna talk.
I thought you was going to do the outro.